Dear friends, welcome to new class, new session. Today, here we discuss about the concept inflorescence. In previous session, we completed explanation about the leaf and modifications of leaf. So here, today we have new concept inflorescence. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ಓದಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ವಿಷಯ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರಸನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಪುಷ್ಪಮಂಜರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. What is inflorescence? In plant body, the branch which produces the cluster of flowers, it act as inflorescence. Floral axis with flowers. Floral axis with the cluster of flowers is called inflorescence. ಅಂದರೆ ಸಸ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಶಾಖೆ ಒಂದು ಬ್ರಾಂಚಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಹೂಗಳು ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿಯಾಗ್ತವೆ. ಆ ಬ್ರಾಂಚನ್ನು ನಾವು ಆ ಸಸ್ಯದ ಪುಷ್ಪಮಂಜರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರಸನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರಸನ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ cluster of flowers produced on a branch, produced on a floral axis. Please remember this. Here, inflorescence, there are two different types in inflorescence. When we clearly observe the inflorescence, in inflorescence, there are different types, many types. But according to your syllabus, here we have to discuss only two types. Those are racemose and cymose. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರಸನ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿಧಗಳು ಕಂಡುಬರ್ತವೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಾವು ಓದಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಎರಡು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರಸನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಒಂದು ರೆಸಿಮೋಸ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರಸನ್ಸ್, ಎರಡನೇದ್ದು cymose inflorescence. First type here we discuss, it is racemose inflorescence, and second is cymose inflorescence. So what is the basic criteria or what is the principle to divide inflorescence in these two types? We discuss here. To understand these two types here, first we have to concentrate on diagrams. For example, first we draw a racemose inflorescence. Here on the floral axis, we observe the production of flowers. ಈ ಫ್ಲೋರಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೂಗಳ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಹೂಗಳು ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ. Just observe this one. These are the well developed old flowers. This is the young flower. We can say that it is in bud condition. ಇವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿರುವಂತಹ ಅರಳಿರುವಂತಹ ಹೂಗಳು. ಇದು ಇನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿಯಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಮೊಗ್ಗಿನ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಹೂವು. So like that here, this is the diagram shows the characteristic of racemose inflorescence. Okay. Say this is the flower here. Cymose inflorescence. Here, first you clearly observe the diagrams. You may get some ideas, you may get some explanation from these diagrams. Here, this is racemose inflorescence. Here, to divide inflorescence into the racemose and cymose, mainly we have to consider two characteristics. What are those things? The first one is growth of peduncle and arrangement of flowers. So what is peduncle? See, this is the floral axis. This is the floral axis, or this is the branch which produces the flowers. This floral axis is called peduncle. This floral axis is called peduncle. Here also we observe the peduncle. This is the floral axis. This is the branch. This branch produces the flowers. ಯಾವ ಶಾಖೆ ಹೂಗಳನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪೆಡಂಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದಿ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೆಡಂಕಲ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್. ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟೂ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ racemose the growth of peduncle is continuous. By the production of flowers, the growth is remain continued. In racemose inflorescence, the growth of peduncle is remain continuous and it is not checked. This is the racemose. When we observe the cymose, in cymose, the growth of peduncle is checked by the production of flower at the terminal position of the peduncle. In cymose inflorescence, the growth of peduncle is checked by the formation of flower, and this flower stop or check the growth of peduncle. This is said to be the cymose. In racemose inflorescence ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ಪೆಡಂಕಲ್ನ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನಡೀತಿರ್ತದೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ಹೂಗಳು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪೆಡಂಕಲ್ನ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ನಿಂತಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ನಡೀತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಸೈಮೋಸ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರಸೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪೆಡಂಕಲ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರ ತುದಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೂ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಆಗೋದರಿಂದ, ಹೂ ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿಯಾಗಿರೋದರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಸೈಮೋಸ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರಸೆನ್ಸ್. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್, racemose is the type of inflorescence in which the growth of peduncle is continuous and this growth is not checked by the formation of flower. Whereas in cymose inflorescence, growth of peduncle is checked by the formation of flower. So this is about the cymose and racemose with respect to the peduncle growth. Next, when we observe arrangement of flowers, here this racemose inflorescence shows the acropetal arrangement. Here it shows the acropetal arrangement. This cymose shows the basipetal arrangement. Here we have two words. One is the acropetal arrangement, another one is basipetal arrangement. Acropetal arrangement reported in the racemose inflorescence, basipetal arrangement is present in the cymose inflorescence. What is this acropetal arrangement? You just observe this diagram. In this diagram, you are observing that previously produced old flowers are present at the basal position or present at the base of the peduncle. Newly produced flowers are at the top position. This type of arrangement is called acropetal arrangement. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ರೆಸಿಮೋಸ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರಸೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ ಮೊದಲು ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿಯಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅರಳಿರುವಂತಹ ಬೆಳೆದಿರುವಂತಹ ಹೂಗಳು ಕೆಳಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿಯಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಮೊಗ್ಗುಗಳು, ಹೊಸ ಹೂಗಳು ಈ ಒಂದು ಪೆಡಂಕಲ್ನ ಮೇಲ್ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಇಂಥ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಕ್ರೋಪೆಟಲ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. Acropetal, it is the arrangement, it is reported in the racemose inflorescence, whereas in cymose it is somewhat reverse. Here cymose shows the basipetal arrangement. In basipetal arrangement we observe that in the top position old flowers are present, previously produced old flowers are present, and at the basal position when we observe newly produced young flowers are present. This arrangement is called basipetal arrangement. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಸೈಮೋಸ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರಸೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಸಿಪೆಟಲ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಬೇಸಿಪೆಟಲ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿಯಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಹೂಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬಂದಿರ್ತವೆ, ಆದರೆ ಹಳೆಯ ಹೂಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಆಕ್ರೋಪಿಟಲ್ಗೆ ಅದು ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾದ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಇನ್ 2 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರಸನ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ರೆಸಿಮೋಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೈಮೋಸ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೋರಸನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ you remember this one. So next we will proceed with the next concept. So here we have next concept, flower. When we observe flower, flower is the reproductive part of the plant body. When we observe plant comprises 2 parts, vegetative parts and reproductive parts. Vegetative parts are helpful for the normal physiological functions like anchoring, absorption, storage, and some metabolic functions. Whereas a reproductive part is mainly helpful for the sexual reproduction. This reproductive part produces the gametes. In this reproductive part, fertilization occurs, zygote formation occurs. So, reproductive part is mainly helpful for the sexual reproduction. So, flower is reproductive part of the plant body because the flower is mainly helpful for the sexual reproduction. Okay, so when we observe flower, what is the structure of typical flower? Here we discuss. This is flower. To study flower, here we have to observe the vertical section of the flower. Then we clearly understand the complete flower, or we can study the flower completely. So here, when we observe the vertical section of a typical flower, it gives these type of structures. So here, this is the typical flower. These are the different types of floral parts. I will explain one by one after the completion of this diagram. Okay, so here we discuss this vertical section of the flower. When we observe this flower, here you are observing stalk-like structure. This stalk-like structure is called pedicel. Stalk of the flower is called pedicel. ಈ ಒಂದು ಫ್ಲವರ್ನ ಹಿಡಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪೆಡಿಸಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. This pedicel is become expanded flat or stage like structure. It performs the platform for the attachment of different floral parts. This expanded part of the pedicel is said to be thalamus. It is said to be the thalamus. So here the next one we observe, here after this thalamus, there is a presence of different types of floral parts. Here, this is said to be calyx. Calyx. This is corolla. Corolla, and here stamens. Stamens, and this is gynoecium. This is gynoecium. So like this here, different parts are present in the typical flower. Here we discuss one by one. Pedicel, we know that this is the stalk of the flower. Pedicel is present. This pedicel, tip of the pedicel is become wider. It is become expanded. This part is called thalamus. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪೆಡಿಸಲ್ನ ಮೇಲಿನ ಭಾಗ, ತುದಿಯ ಭಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಗಲವಾಗಿ ಅದು ಥಲಮಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥಲಮಸ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ದಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಇನ್ಸರ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೋರಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಈ ಥಲಮಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಉಳಿದಿರುವಂತಹ ಹೂವಿನ ಭಾಗಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತವೆ, ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತವೆ. Okay, when we observe different floral parts, here flower, typical flower comprises 4 different types of floral parts, like calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. These 4 different types of floral parts are present in a common typical flower. Now we discuss one by one. See here, calyx. Here this is calyx. Calyx is the outermost whorl. Whorl andre circle. Outermost whorl of the flower. Calyx is the outermost whorl of the flower, and calyx is made up of sepals. Calyx ಆಗಿರೋದು sepals ಗಳಿಂದ. Calyx is made up of sepals. Group of sepals is called calyx. Similarly, next floral part is after the calyx. Next floral part is corolla, and corolla is made up of petals. Corolla is made up of petals. Here you are observing corolla, ಹೂವಿನ ದಳಗಳಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. So here corolla is made up of petals. Group of petals is called corolla. Next, androecium. Here I labeled stamens. Androecium is the male reproductive part of the flower. Androecium is male reproductive part of the flower, and it is made up of stamens. Androecium ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದು ಮೇಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮೇಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಆಗಿರೋದು ಸ್ಟೇಮನ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಂದ. ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಮನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಆಂಡ್ರೋಶಿಯಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್. ಒಂದು ಹೂವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟೇಮನ್ಸ್ಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ ಅವು ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆಯಾಗಿ ಆ ಹೂವಿನ ಆಂಡ್ರೋಶಿಯಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ, ಮೇಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಗೈನೋಶಿಯಮ್. Gynoecium is the female reproductive part of the flower, and it is made up of carpels. Here, carpel is modified in this form. In androecium, clearly we can see the stamens, but in gynoecium, generally we do not clearly observe the carpels, because carpel is modified in the form of gynoecium or pistil-like structure. While discussing about the gynoecium or pistil, we discuss in details, but here please remember this one. Gynoecium is the female reproductive part of the flower, and it is made up of carpels. Androecium, male reproductive part, units are stamens. Gynoecium, female reproductive part, units are carpels. Like this here, 4 floral parts are present in a flower. ಒಂದು ಹೂವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಇವು 4 ಭಾಗಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ. Now please observe this one. First 2 parts. These 2 parts means calyx and corolla. Calyx and corolla are considered as accessory whorls of the flower, and androecium and gynoecium are considered as the necessary whorls of the flower. Calyx and corolla are accessory or non-essential parts or whorls of the flower. Androecium and gynoecium are considered as the essential or necessary whorls of the flower. It is not the meaning these are not required and these are required. Here this classification is based on their function. See, we know that flower is the reproductive part. That means the main primary function of the flower is a reproduction. To perform a reproduction, 2 structures are mainly required. Those are androecium and gynoecium. Here androecium is the male reproductive part and gynoecium is the female reproductive part. So these 2 are importantly required. Because of this reason, these 2 are said to be the necessary, essential whorls, whereas calyx and corolla are not participate in the process of sexual reproduction. They are not helpful for the sexual reproduction. Then what is the function of these 2 whorls? These 2 whorls are helpful to provide the some structure, color, attractive colorations, and they are helpful to provide the protection to the androecium and gynoecium. Corolla and calyx are helpful to provide the protection to the androecium and gynoecium. They provide some shape, size to the flower, also provide the some attractive coloration which are helpful for the pollination maybe. So they are not directly participate in the process of sexual reproduction. They are not required in the sexual reproduction. Only they are helpful to perform the some extra functions other than the sexual reproduction. Because of this reason, these 2 are considered as accessory whorls or non-essential whorls. ಇದನ್ನು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ತುಂಬ ಸರಳ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಈ ಸಸ್ಯದ 4 ಭಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಲಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕೊರೊಲ್ಲ ಈ ಸೆಕ್ಸುವಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಆಕಾರವನ್ನು ನೀಡ್ತವೆ, ಬಣ್ಣವನ್ನು ನೀಡ್ತವೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಆಂಡ್ರೋಶಿಯಂ ಗೈನೋಶಿಯಂಗೆ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಒದಗಿಸ್ತವೆ. ಆದರೆ ಸೆಕ್ಸುವಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸುವುದಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವು ನಾನ್ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಆಂಡ್ರೋಶಿಯಂ ಮತ್ತು ಗೈನೋಶಿಯಂ, ಆಂಡ್ರೋಶಿಯಂ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮೇಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಗೈನೋಶಿಯಂ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಫಿಮೇಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವೆರಡು ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಸೆಕ್ಸುವಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತವೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಇವೆರಡರ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ ಸೆಕ್ಸುವಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಈ ಫ್ಲವರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇವೆರಡು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ whorls ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಯರ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ವೆರಿ ಕಾಮನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್. In next class we will proceed with the different types of terminology or technical terms commonly used to understand flower. So please remember today's concept. Thank you. Thank you, friends.